I started March off by reading an arc I should have read last month, which is Hangry Hearts. Instead, I read another Georgette Hare book. But this arc should definitely be out by the time I'm posting these videos. It comes out March 18th. And for the last couple years, I've been part of Wednesday's influencers team, and I actually read an arc by this author last year, which was The Artifacts of an Ex. And I remember distinctly that it was a very bingeable YA rom-com story that I finished in one day. And so I was like, you know what? I really enjoyed it. I don't remember it being great. It was middling, but it was enjoyable. So I'll accept this offer of eGalley for this. And I recently went back to go look at my review, and Artifacts of an Ex I gave 3.5 stars. I said it was bingeable. You can read it really easy and quick. Could have done more. Similar things with Hangry Hearts, only I think it was worse, in my opinion. With Hangry Hearts is a Romeo and Juliet kind of retelling where our main couple have actually previously dated but broke up, and there's also this infighting with their grandmothers. Each of their grandmothers are the matriarchs of their family, and each of them own a like Asian restaurant. Like I believe one's Korean, one's Chinese. But something happens. They're fighting until one day at school they are paired up together for a community service project, and obviously things happen. And one thing I have a problem with is Romeo and Juliet retellings, which you see so many across YA. And I think my problem with the vast majority of them is that they're just scratching the surface of that story. They never expand on it, never do anything new or different. It feels like the Romeo and Juliet retelling is like a costume, an old Romeo and Juliet costume that's been sitting in the school's theater department for the last like 20 years. And the students never really have taken the time to learn about Shakespeare or the depth of the story or anything beyond the surface level conflict. Like there's nuance to Romeo and Juliet. And that's the problem with these stories, that they're just using this costume that to kind of prop up the rest of the story, but the person within the story isn't doing much to add to it. But that's only one of my problems. My other problem with the story is that there was so much info dumping. So much that literally chapter 1, it was about 80% info dumping and 20% dialogue. And then the dialogue felt like it was so obviously written by an adult who thinks that they're capturing a teenager, but really it is an adult writing this. In general, the whole story, like the characters, the world, the conflicts, all the things reminded me a lot of like a Disney Channel show where all those same components are so unrealistic. Like you're not going to see any of that in real life. It's fantastical, but bingeable. And that's the same thing kind of happening here. Like it felt so fake that like I think it would be a good book for someone like upper middle grade, lower YA, which like this is a YA rom-com, but I've read other YA rom-coms because it's like my palate cleanser kind of stories. I love them. They're very fun and like lighthearted and bingeable to read. But I've read other YA rom-coms that like I've enjoyed greatly over the last couple of years that are just a little bit more grounded in reality and have a little bit more depth to them. So in general, middling. It was fine. I think like I would still recommend both books by this author. I just think like anyone can still like obviously like I said YA rom-coms are palate cleansers for me. Anyone at any age can enjoy them, and I would recommend you checking it out for yourself. But I think the target audience for this book is probably more so like between the ages of like 12 to 16. Like people who still kind of enjoy Disney Channel shows are probably going to enjoy this book a lot more. So if that sounds up your alley, I highly recommend checking it out for yourself. If you're not really feeling that kind of vibes, maybe pass, because this was a kind of a pass for me.